Salutations! On this episode of Artistic Violation, we're gonna jump into Horizon Zero Dawn with some cheap gouache. Let's get it. And jump in we did. We're talking about like 4 or 5 hours till we finally got the reference we were looking for. I'll take you all the way back. And when I say back, I mean back to where the disappointment started. The intro was great. I loved it. Very cinematic, very beautiful, very striking in the graphics for a PS4 game. Besides the water, which we'll get into. I'm gonna be honest, I was not a fan of the story. We talk about just negativity all around the board. I mean, if you haven't played the game, you're pretty much an outsider and everyone's kind of hating on you for that fact. You know, pretty much for no reason to us, right? Because we wouldn't understand the fictional culture that it's in. You know, we're just barely getting into it, so it just seems like a lot of unnecessary hate and a lot of negative energy. It was just bad apple character after bad apple character after, and honestly, like the quote-unquote like good characters or characters you're supposed to like, I was so detached. I was laughing at the death scenes. I'm just taking a rest, am I? Yeah, alright. He's got it. He doesn't have it. He does not have it. It just wasn't interesting. They had a great opportunity with the modern versus the old school. You know, you got the bow and arrow and the machines and all that. You got the little Google device that lets you eagle vision. Just the story was so negative. It just pisses you off. Like, for what, man? Just open the f***ing gate before I put an arrow in your gut. Anyway, 3 hours later, and the world opens up a little bit, so you get out of the village, and that's where I really decided to start looking for my reference. So I wanted to get an angle of like a machine and also nature. You know, it's what this game's about, so let's paint that. But it really became more about sort of the lighting, I guess. The moon was a big part of it in the background for one, and the other one was the cow. The smooth paper threw me off. Aside from that, pretty good experience. I wish I would have inked it first or inked it in general, but I maybe would want to try to experiment on the ink color. It's just, you know, different artistic things you could do with it. But overall, I thought it a pretty good experience for a new medium to me, pretty much. It's pretty much like acrylic, except you can reactivate it if it dries on the palette and also on the paper, which is kind of odd to me, but it was really useful for the palette. I could just wet it, you know, I have fans running, so that was pretty good. Anyway, those are my first impressions of the game, couple hours in. And here is the final result of our escapade in Horizon Zero Dawn and in gouache. Now I got a little preview for you guys for the next videos. We got this volume 1 of Warcraft, which I don't know too much about, but the art looks pretty good. And also Sifu for the Nintendo Switch. I thought it'd be cool to maybe ink a set piece from this game and then maybe check out some panels from this one. It is a classic game, so I figured, hey, why not learn? Why not draw? With that being said, thanks for visiting me in the castle. Take it easy. Peace.